Hey guys! Did you just get your college decision letters back, and are you basking in the glory of knowing that you soon will be a college student, but not sure quite where you're going to go yet? If so, in this video, what I'm going to talk to you guys about is 5 reasons that students regret choosing a college. My name's Brooke. If you don't know who I am, I've been coaching the SAT and the ACT for over a decade and a half. I'm also an independent college consultant, which means that I sit down with people as they're applying to college and try to help them put their best self on paper. You can learn more about me at SupertutorTV.com. You can also find the best ACT prep course ever and the best SAT prep course ever there. They are video-based prep courses. I've helped coach students to perfect scores on both exams, so if you're looking for an awesome tool to prep for those tests, go check it out. We also have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which are totally free to follow me. I retweet things that are of interest to those who are planning to attend college soon, so definitely connect with us totally free. If you don't want to spend a dime, sign up for our mailing list. We will keep you posted on any new videos or news that we have coming out. SupertutorTV.com/subscribe. Cool. Announcements over. Let's talk about regret. Nobody likes to regret things, right? It's not fun to regret. But there are reasons that some students regret choosing a college, and we're going to talk about what those are. The first one I'm going to talk about is money. In particular, there were 3 kind of scenarios that I found when I was doing research that students regret college for the money reason. The first is uncertain of goals, like students who are uncertain of what they want to do. I read a lot of stories about people who didn't feel like they knew what they wanted to do with their lives, felt like they were expected to go to college because that's what people do, right? When you graduate from high school, you go to college. But these people didn't really feel like they had it figured out yet. They didn't even know what they wanted to major in. They had no idea what they wanted to do with their lives, but they just went to college anyway, right? And so then you're just like flushing money down the drain, and you don't even know why you're studying or what your direction is. You know, maybe you're majoring in something you don't even want to do. So people who don't have a lot of direction and just go straight into college and they're uncertain of their goals, they sometimes regret the money part of it because they feel like they're paying to just like twiddle their thumbs, and they're not even sure if what they're doing is moving them toward their goal or not. 2 other things too with money. 1, for-profit colleges. For-profit college school attendees regret their college decision more than any other group. These are not the most popular kinds of colleges, but they have very broad admission policies. I would much more highly recommend going to a community college. They're still affordable and they're very accessible. There are other options than for-profit universities, but for-profit universities tend to be really expensive. I know there's been a lot of crackdowns on for-profit universities in the last several years, so I don't even think they're as common as they used to be. I don't even know how many there are, but just be very wary if you're looking at for-profit colleges. Third money issue is loans. Students also regret taking on loans. And some students regret, right, they had a decision to make between a couple of colleges and one required more loans and one didn't, and they chose the one with more loans and then they regretted it. So there are people that regret that, or even taking on loans in the first place versus spreading out their schedule or working more or taking a year off and then coming back. There are other kind of situations that I've read about. So just be careful if you're taking on loans. I think the best advice that I have is make sure that when you take on loans that you know you're going to have a career at the other end that's going to give you a good enough salary so you feel confident that you can pay that back over time, right? Next reason, beyond money. Now, this actually conflicts with money, and this is not following your heart. And one of the areas of not following your heart is, 1, they've chosen rank over gut. Sometimes people go to some school that's supposed to be so shiny and so great and is higher ranked than wherever else they got into. Sometimes also students just go to the highest ranked university that they get into, and they don't even consider their own feelings, where they're comfortable, how they felt on their college visit, any of that, and they just literally go to the highest ranked school. And that can also lead to disappointment. So remember that just because a school is highly ranked isn't the only reason you should consider it. Another reason that people haven't followed their heart is that they've gone to the cheaper school over their gut, meaning their gut and their dream school was this school over here, but mom and dad were like, oh, but this is so much cheaper. And they ended up going in state to a school with less prestige. And then in turn, they were bored and they were unchallenged. I'm not saying that that's not the right decision for you. You've got to figure out what's right for you. I'm just telling you the kinds of decisions that some people have regretted in the past. And so it's just something to take into consideration. Now, granted, most students don't regret the college they choose, by the way. This is not the majority of people. The majority of people do not have regrets on the college they choose. The majority of people are usually happy with the college they choose. Finally, mom and dad versus you is the other kind of not following your heart category. A lot of students will go where mom and dad are pressuring them to go rather than where they want to go. And that obviously can lead to a lot of sad regret over time. Okay, next category, social life. Students have regretted going to a particular school because they don't like the social life there. And they felt like they didn't have connections and they didn't have friends and they were isolated and lonely and bored. So if you are looking at colleges, that is something to take into account, like your well-being, your social situation, the way that you fit in, that is important. And you want to feel like you're in a place where you feel safe and you can make friends and you can fit in. That's a huge part of your life. It's not just academics. So don't just go to a school for the academics if you feel like the social life isn't going to fit who you are or what you're about. Next category is majors are not offered or it's not a good major fit. So a lot of students, like I said earlier, sort of arbitrarily chose where they go to college based on whatever factors and didn't really check into what majors one school offered over another. And they may have ended up at a school that didn't offer particular programs that resonated with them. So that's something to consider. If you're weighing a few colleges, ask yourself, realistically, what am I going to major in, right? And what do those departments look like at these different schools? Because I'm not just going to the school as a whole. I have to figure out what I'm going to study, and I have to make sure that the school is going to support me on that journey as I try to study what it is that I'm pursuing. So make sure that that is something on your list. And finally, the final reason that many students regret their college decision is that they pick a school where the culture just isn't a fit. That means whatever the vibe is on campus, they don't feel like they fit in. They don't feel like the way the social, it's, you know, a combination of social life and academic culture and attitude and everything else, that the vibe on campus just isn't up their alley, that they just don't feel like it's the kind of place where they're at home. And you want to be able to go to a campus where you feel like you can be at home. Whatever culture you're looking for in the college that you want to go to, make sure that that is something you take into consideration. It's not all about academics. It's not all about social life. It's not all about culture. It's about all these factors. So hopefully you guys can weigh all of those factors and figure out the next step for yourself in your life. And remember, even if some people regret where they went to college, like I said, most people don't regret where they go. So whatever you decide, I wish you guys the best of luck. Congratulations to all of you who got into colleges. It's a really awesome feat. Tell us in the comments where you're headed or what you're debating. You can start a debate, pros and cons, if you want, in the comment section. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.